What we were trying to do from the very beginning, our core mission was really to solve that accessibility and that experience gap that exists in the traditional collecting.
When we started thinking about the potential of this space, two things happened. One, we got really excited, and two, we kicked off a massive amount of work on a bootstrap budget.
And for many decades, collecting has been something that people love, but it's also been limited. For example, geography, where you are around the world, the way you store them, the cost of it and the shipping and so on. And sometimes even the risk of taking that fakes or damaged product. So we wanted to create that platform that removes all these barriers while keeping the emotion and the excitement that make collecting special.
I started scoping out how we could transition the physical world of collecting into a similar digital experience. There were a number of challenges, with the first being that collecting by nature has forever been physically tangible. And secondly, being pioneers in this space, there was no model to follow. VeVe was the very first of its kind to exist.
They had the dream, the drive, and the blueprint. And as Dan likes to say,
on a bootstrap budget.
But what came next would transform their vision into the world's leading digital collecting platform.
The first Batman drop was a really special moment for me. Not really just as a business milestone, but as a long lifetime collectors and fan of myself. It really represents the bridge between my childhood passion for collecting and the future of how people experience ownership in the digital world.
It was the culmination of almost 3 years' work, building the app, securing the licensors, creating the 3D assets, all the graphic content, even determining the edition sizes and rarities, all with a very small team.
When we started, there was a lot of uncertainty if people were like, what we were aiming to put it together.
There were times when David and I would say to each other, I hope we sell a digital Batman, because the concept of digital collecting and the way VeVe offered it was so new and so untested. But we truly believed as collectors that this would add new threads to the tapestry of collecting. I remember putting the Batman black and white drop live and making the first ever purchase on VeVe, just to test everything was working before we opened it up to VeVe's first ever users, who we now affectionately know as the OGs.
Seeing that first Batman drop sell out and watching people interact with their digital Batman and AR, it really validated, the years of hard work and that the belief that collectings and collectors could evolve beyond the physical shelf.
With the first wave of releases going off successfully for VeVe, the founders looked to the future because while, as Dan says,
the OGs
understood what VeVe was all about, it was clear that AR and showrooms needed to be a key focus moving into the following year.
For me, creating tangibility was a critical component to bridge that gap between physical and digital. We didn't want to be a JPEG or a sticker app, as this wasn't the same as a physical collectible experience that David and I have enjoyed our whole lives. And this is one of the key reasons we opted to go for 3D models rather than 2D images. Collectors want to see and show off the collectibles they own. And it just so happened AR had recently been refined into a usable integrated technology. So we decided to capitalize on this, making AR a primary feature in the app. And since then, it has spawned hundreds of thousands of amazing and creative AR photos from thousands of collectors across the globe. What was more exciting for me right now is that this is also aligned with our vision that at some point in the future, VR and particularly AR will become part of everyday life. And now, 5 years on, it's very exciting to see this prediction start to take shape. And this will ultimately lead to VeVe Digital Collectibles becoming part of the furniture of your digital lives, like how you can accessorize your digital world in the future.
With AR and showrooms locked in, the next step was onboarding major IPs. And the end of 2021 and start of 2022 would see just that.
Bringing Marvel and Disney onto the VeVe was a truly defining moment for us. And really, it's not just to our team, but our entire digital collectible space. That's huge.
With the introduction of brands like Disney and Marvel, meant some of the world's most iconic collectible grails were available for the first time on VeVe.
Being a collector my whole entire life and being able to be a licensee with these brand and character that inspires so many of us growing up, it was surreal. But more importantly, it shows that the biggest name in the world believed in what we were building.
It also expanded VeVe into brand new verticals. Not just digital collectibles, but now limited edition digital comics, offering some of the most iconic comics, such as Marvel #1, Amazing Fantasy #15, and many, many more. This was also brand new for the comic industry, and the first time ever that fans alike could own and read comics that previously were unattainable. And the exciting thing for me is comics has now matured into a core part of VeVe's offering, with both readable comics and limited edition titles and an entirely new vertical.
Going into 2023, the company reconnected with its roots, featuring exclusive physical and digital product offerings for the very first time.
For me, in 2023, one of our sort of key highlights, I guess, was our launch into the physical and digital space. We released our first physical comic, and we also dropped our Iron Man digital in partnership with Funko, which was almost an immediate sellout. And this really set us on a path to explore more of the physical world and the digital world. And since then, we have released a lot of these products. And what I guess made me excited about this is that it made VeVe more than a place to just buy and sell digital collectibles, but it became a place for more of your pop culture and fandom needs.
2024 saw VeVe shaking off the dust of historic comics and adding modern-day comics to their weekly offerings.
#1, it was the first time you can own a digital version of the comic book on day-to-day release. That marked very significant in the comic industry, because readers all around the world typically will have to wait for a few more months until Marvel Unlimited published them on their subscription site. Allow readers to go through that. And if you're a physical fan, you really have to wait to your local store down under here in New Zealand or Australia or in Japan, wherever you are. You have to wait a number of months before that cover you love or that story that you're collecting will come. So marking that moment really defines that how fast that you can have a same day to print available worldwide to reach out. And, as of today, VeVe have over 170 plus country and regions of people purchasing our products. So you can imagine the comic book is widely distributed all around the world.
So beyond Marvel, we continue to onboard a growing number of comic publishers, both large and small, all of which who offer amazing titles. And our goal has always been to make VeVe a one-stop shop for all of your collecting and fandom needs. Whether you're a collector, a reader, or maybe a little bit of both, we wanted to offer fandoms in all its forms, and that had to include the amazing world of comics. And to make that experience true to the comic world, we pushed really hard to offer comic cover variants, many of which are exclusive to VeVe, which is huge in itself. And in order to do this, it meant that we had to continuously innovate the product and expand VeVe's features to offer these experiences. And realistically, this is something we could have never achieved in year one of VeVe.
From enhanced showrooms to augmented reality, the next logical step in experiencing digital collecting was VeVe's Metaverse, the VeVeverse.
From day one, our mission for VeVeVerse was to create a living, breathable world where collectors could bring their fandom to life. And not just really owning that digital collectible on VeVe, but really experience it.
We live in a world where physical space is becoming more and more limited, and the VeVeVerse offers a way for fans to celebrate their passion in a way that is visually creative, while connecting and interacting with both the fandoms they like and also with other collectors. And what's exciting for me is the current release of VeVeVerse is literally just scratching the surface. It offers the core features at present of world building, fandom celebration, creativity, connectivity, and that potential is virtually unlimited. So the future of the VeVeVerse for me is one that is fully integrated and accessible part of the overall VeVe experience, and one that offers that digital tangibility that we built into VeVe from the beginning. And in addition to that, all of that extended social connection, gamification, creativity, display showcasing, all of these things that we know are a huge part of the collecting experience.
With over half a decade of building behind us, you have to go back to the start to really understand what makes VeVe special.
We truly believed as collectors that this would add new threads to the tapestry of collecting.
It's a journey of overcoming fears.
When we started, there was a lot of uncertainty if people were like, what we were aiming to put it together.
Constantly improving.
For me, creating tangibility was a critical component to bridge that gap between physical and digital.
But most importantly, it's a story about what unites us.
Nothing of this world and VeVe could exist without the collectors who really believe in VeVe.
I want to say a heartfelt thank you to everyone for all your support throughout these first 5 years.
The last 5 years were about building the foundations for VeVe.
The ups, the downs, the excitement, the many, many friendships that have been made, the community, and all we have accomplished together, because this is something that we have done together.
So keep collecting what you love, keep sharing your passion, and keep inspiring us, because VeVe isn't just a platform. It's a community built by collectors for collectors, and I'm honored to be part of it with you.